Welcome. Bay was saying welcome to. Welcome to Faith Forward. We are a channel who has brought you on our journey of loving Jesus, loving one another, and loving our businesses.
Everything we do.
Moving forward in faith.
Sharing the whole journey.
Yep. So, today
we're going to be talking about our first date. The last video we talked about how we met and stuff. So now we'll go into how we first really began dating, I guess you could say.
Yeah. We just so happened to randomly run into each other when I had an audition.
Yeah, that was very random.
Super random.
She had an audition in the same building that I was actually not even working at the time. I was doing my training because the building that I work out of is down the street from it. But I was training at the same building you had audition. So you let me know. Mm-hmm. I came downstairs, got to see her. It was our first time seeing each other since we first met. And I think I just walked you to your car, said bye.
He half walked me to my car. He was a little nervous.
Why do you keep saying I was nervous?
I feel like you were a little nervous.
Why did you say that?
Because you were just I could just tell it was the awkward smile. I don't know, it was new. It was the first time we had seen each other.
What time was it?
It was 10 a.m. or something?
No, it was 8:30 at the latest.
Okay.
I'm not a morning person.
So, he was nervous.
If that makes you feel better. She had me nervous.
Okay, he wasn't nervous. He was just little... It was so
early.
It was super early.
And it's so random.
And he was caught off guard to see me.
Off guard.
Right. Okay, so you were caught off guard. So we saw each other, and he walked me down to the elevator, and we went down to the elevator. And then I had to take another elevator to get to my car. And he said, "I'm going to leave you here because I don't know how... I don't know where I am right now. I might get lost." That is what you said.
Yeah, exactly what I said.
Right, you said, "I'm going to leave you here because I don't know how to get back if I go that way."
Yeah. I recognized earlier she could talk me into a lot of stuff. So I had
to
get out of there.
We, after that, I feel like we texted a lot more. And then I did what you just have to do at some point. I was the one, I called him.
Oh, yeah.
I was the one who called you to first talk on the phone.
Yeah, you called me.
But I'm a talker. I want to talk on the phone. I don't want to be texting all day.
She was grilling me for 3 hours. 4 hours.
It was a long time. We were on the phone for a long time. But I feel like that's how you know. That's how you know. If you can be on the phone with someone for hours, then you just know, you have a lot to talk about. You can go back and forth. And it was super easy to talk to you.
Yeah, it didn't feel like we was on the phone for 4 hours.
No, it flew by.
We were just chatting.
And we talked, we talked about our past relationships. And we talked about Jesus and, our relationship kind of with the Lord. And, I kind of told you my story and how my relationship started to strengthen with the Lord again after I got out of a relationship, and you told me what brought you back.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird to say because I don't really feel like I was ever not in confident of my religion or confident of my faith. It was just a time where I just knew I wasn't serving God the way that I should have been, and I wasn't reciprocating my appreciation for His blessings and His grace. And I remember coming to that realization. It was New Year's, and I really just promised myself, promised God, I'm just going to be a lot more appreciative and selective with how I spend my time because He deserves more of me. And January I was on it on point. February I was on point. Met her around the time, so I knew we just was talking about it on the phone. So it was I don't really ever feel like I got out of my religion where I doubted God or anything. I feel like it was me who was the problem. I wasn't being a good steward, Right. And that's when I came to the recognition of that, and then once you come to the recognition, then you have to decide if you're going to keep doing it
Right.
or you're going to ask for some help to change. You're going to change,
Right.
and that's when I really began asking for help to change, and like that was like perfect timing.
Perfect timing to meet each other.
Yeah.
And so then basically he was like, "Oh, you want to hang out?" You definitely asked me if I wanted to hang out.
Probably.
Yeah. You were like, "Do you want to hang out?" And I was like, "Sure." And I was like, "Okay, I have this free night." And we were just like, "Okay, we'll just like meet at your house and kind of, you know, play it by ear. So I went to his house, and that, my friends, is when we talked about in depth what we believed and where we wanted to go in life.
Yeah.
And like kind of what the shape of our life was looking like at that point. And that's when I told him how strongly I felt about the Lord and
your whole structure.
Right. Loving him and serving him. And that's when
the cool thing about Sav is that like when I first met her, it was like she doesn't squeeze worship or praise or reading. She doesn't squeeze God into her schedule. Her stuff was whatever's in her schedule like wraps around that. You know, like your Wednesday night is for your community group. Your Sundays is strictly for, you know, for church and resting and worship. So that's what I needed. Like I was so occupied with like where can I find the time, and even still I struggle with it, like trying to find the time to serve God and like really build my relationship with Jesus.
Right.
That's not how it's supposed to work though. It's supposed to be everything else needs to revolve around,
structured around the Lord.
Be structured around that.
Right.
Exactly. So like that was something that was like really natural for you at the time.
I would not say it was natural. It takes discipline, hard work, and really just obedience and just habit. Making a habit of time to serve the Lord, to worship the Lord, to pray, and to read his word. It is just habit. Regardless of how you feel, whether you're feeling it that day or not, you got to do it.
You got to do it. Yeah.
And so you kind of met me like a year after I had started those habits.
Yeah. It appeared natural, but don't get it twisted. It's not natural. It's not easy.
No.
And it really comes to, like you said, habit and trust, I feel like. Because that's one thing you really stress is like, I'm going to be okay. Like, this is not going to take away from what I need. Like, if anything, it's going to provide. Like, so you just really have a good trust in that.
Thank you.
But like I feel like that topic gets a little like makes people anxious or whatever, like talking about their belief. But not me. I love talking to people about like
we did what you were not supposed to do. We talked about it on our first date.
we were really like, it was no cap or no. It was nothing between us that was not honest. Like,
nope.
From the very beginning.
There's no such thing as small talk for us. We talked about it right in. As soon as I got to his house, we started talking about it.
And it wasn't even like an unnatural thing. We just kind of just got to talking about it.
No. He was like, I know of this place, blah, blah, blah. You play games, whatever. I was like, oh, Busby's. He was like, oh, yeah, how do you know? I was like, I knew what you're talking about, by the way. You'd only said like 2 things about it. You were like, it's cool. And I was like, Busby's. And so he came to my house because my house is actually closer to Busby's because we wanted to Uber there. Met my roommate, met my dog, first date. Really everything. Everything happened on the first date.
Whole time I didn't know it was a date. But...
Right. So we get to Busby's. We're having fun. We shared a drink. He did not buy me a drink.
No, we didn't buy a drink at all.
No, we didn't. You got a beer and we shared it.
I don't drink that much.
You still got a beer and we shared it.
I didn't get you a beer?
No.
Did I ask you if you wanted one?
No.
Because it wasn't a date. I got your food, though.
He did. He got us food.
I got us food.
He got us food. He got himself a beer, and it was our beer. We shared it.
She took it from me.
We shared it. But I was like, oh, okay, he didn't ask me if I wanted a drink. That's fine. So we're playing miniature golf. Our date is so classic, it makes me want to throw up. We're playing miniature golf in Busby's, and somehow, again, we do not do small talk. It comes up about relationships and blah, 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 and I feel like we already liked each other a lot by this point.
She liked me a lot. I thought she was cute, so she started pressing me about.
That is a lie.
They know that's a lie. I know that.
So
But we did start talking about
like just friends, how we should start this off on like a strong friendship and all of that. And he was like, yeah, because like I don't feel like this is a date.
Literally the face you gave me.
I said, pardon? You don't feel like this is a date? And he was like, well, no, like we're just friends. And I said, so you're telling me if Jimmy to the right over there comes up to me and asks me out and would like to buy me a drink right now, I'm cool to say, okay, be right back. I'm going to go get a drink with Jimmy because we're just friends and we're just hanging out as friends. And what did you do when I said that?
I didn't like that.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't like that. But we agreed on, that was our first date.
We did not, that's not how easily it went down. I said that and he laughed and he said, you're right. This is a date. So that was our first date. He didn't think it was a date until I told him it was a date. For people who are dating right now, I know that it's tough, but God has someone picked out for you. And you need to be patient until then. You do not want to settle for people just because you feel lonely. Because at the end of the day, you can be in a relationship and still feel lonely. Your companionship comes from Jesus Christ. And I think that's why this worked so well, I can say on my end, is because I had already felt joy, peace, love, and grace and mercy in my life because I had gotten my relationship with Jesus Christ right.
Right. We didn't need a buddy. Like, we didn't need a sidekick.
No.
We didn't need company. You know what I mean?
Did not need company. Did
Right,
not need
exactly.
companionship. We got a lot done on our first date.
We've been getting a lot done in general.
We do not mess around.
We have not been wasting time.
Yeah. But I knew that was special because you tell a guy, I'm a Christian, this is what I believe, blah, 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 and they're like, okay, cool. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get that book. Oh, yeah, let's study the word together sometime. Oh, yeah, let's go to church in the future. No, this man, he said, okay, can you help me pull up the Amazon right now? I want to buy this devotional. Can you help me pull up this book right now? I want to get it and let's do it together. What Bible do you recommend? Are you going to church today? Like, he really took action. He was not just talking. And I appreciated that. And more than anything, like, I know that is Jesus Christ. Like, his Holy Spirit working in you and pushing you towards these things is incredible.
Just trust that's God just moving you in the right direction. And just go. Like, for as long as I can remember, my grandma
just go.
Oh yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that. But my grandma says, like, you gotta be quiet and just listen to the whisper, cause like God doesn't yell, God doesn't scream. Right. He just whispers to you, and you really gotta be careful what you're doing and who you are around, or else you won't hear the message.
Right.
And that's just what it is. Like, it was just so easily suggested. I feel like. So.
Anything else?
First date? No. No. If you want us to do like Q&A and stuff, you guys can like comment questions or message us questions and stuff.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting a foot massage right now.
Right now. Live.
You're the best.
All right.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.